On this episode of My Strange Addiction, a widow takes her grief to the extreme.
I'm addicted to carrying around my husband's urn. I take my husband everywhere, shopping, to the movies. I cook what he likes.
But she's taken her addiction to a shocking level.
Basically, the only thing I'm eating are his ashes.
I don't know what it's doing to her physically, emotionally.
But you have to stop eating these ashes.
Her family thinks she's crossed the line.
I don't understand why she would want to keep eating it.
I need help, because I'm going to run out soon. My name is Casey. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Fayetteville, Tennessee. And I'm addicted to carrying around my husband's urn. I take my husband everywhere. To the grocery store, shopping. Ooh, babe, look at that. That's neat. To the movies, out to eat. Anywhere I go, he goes. I sleep with him. I'm like, baby, I love you. When I go grocery shopping, I buy the foods that he likes. When I cook what he likes. I don't eat it, but I cook for him. If I'm watching TV, he's there with me. You want to watch this? If somebody says, hey, who is that? I'm like, oh, this is my husband. Some people laugh. They think I'm playing, but I mean, it's serious. It's my husband.
Casey and Sean were married in 2009 after dating for 10 months.
Everything I had ever wanted in a man was right in front of me, and it felt so great.
They fell in love and was soulmates from day one. The 2.5 years that they were together, I think, was the only time Casey was truly, truly happy.
Their marriage was picture perfect until Sean suffered a severe asthma attack 2 months ago.
The doctor came in, and the look on his face was telltale. It was the day my world stopped turning. The day my life fell apart. Oh, baby, I miss you.
Though Casey initially found comfort by having her husband's ashes at her side, her addiction has recently evolved.
I guess with the transfer of his cremains, some got into the cardboard box as well, and they spilled out on my hands. And I didn't want to wipe them off, because that's my husband. I don't want to wipe him away. So I just licked it off my fingers, and here I am today, almost 2 months later, and I can't stop. I'm eating my husband. First, I lick my finger, and I don't just dip it in. I swirl around to kind of feel and get it caked on there good. And then I just eat it. It tastes like rotten eggs, sand, and sandpaper. But I've grown to love that taste. It started as not wanting to get rid of him, and it's progressed into eating him. I've lost 42 pounds since my husband passed away. Basically, the only thing I'm eating are his ashes.
Casey eats her husband's ashes 5 to 6 times a day.
When I open up the urn, I get a sense of happiness. It's like an adrenaline rush for me. And the more I eat, the more excited I get until I realize there's not a lot left. Then a few minutes later, I feel horrible because I did it. When I got Sean back from the crematory, he weighed 6 pounds. He is closer to 5 pounds now, so I have consumed right at a pound. That's hard. I'm eating my husband.
Very few people know that Casey is eating her husband's ashes. She recently shared this secret with her mother.
When Casey actually told me that she was eating Sean's ashes, it was like I couldn't speak. I really couldn't do anything. I mean, it's like I was just frozen there.
It makes me feel embarrassed, ashamed, disgusted with myself, confused, crazy. It's a big one that pops into my head. Gotta be a really sick person to eat someone's ashes.
It's panicking me and it's worrying me that she's losing reality even more. And I need to do what I need to help her get past that.
Knowing that a pound is already gone is hard. And that's one reason I need help. Because I'm going to run out soon. And I don't know if I'll be able to hold it together any better than I'm doing now. What am I going to do when I go to bed at night and there's just an urn there and there's nothing in it?
But can Casey quit her addiction to eating her husband's ashes? Can her family stop her before it's too late?
Just want her to stop eating the ashes. That's my one and only hope for my daughter.
I have to stop eating him. I've lost him once. This time it'll be my fault that I lose him again. And I don't want to do that. And it's going to get to that point really soon if I don't get help.
Coming up, Casey reveals her shocking addiction to her cousin.
I've been eating his ashes.
And will Casey's mom push her over the edge?
I gotta do it.
Casey, unlock the door, please. How much are you eating, Casey?
26-year-old Casey eats her dead husband's ashes up to 6 times a day. Casey has consumed over a pound in 2 months.
This is the only comfort for me right now. I find myself feeling anxious if I don't do it. But the problem is, when he's gone, then what am I going to do? Who am I going to hold every night? Night, baby, I love you. Who's going to go with me to the grocery store, to the movies, out to eat? You know, he's not going to be there if I eat him.
But Casey hasn't been able to stop on her own and is quickly running out of ashes. Most people don't know about Casey's addiction. She wants to reveal the truth to her cousin Stephanie and ask for help.
I'm feeling anxious a little bit, nervous. I don't want to lose the trust that we have. I'm ready to tell her and I'm ready to get it out. I have something to tell you, Stephanie.
Oh no.
I don't want you to freak out and I don't want you to get mad and I really don't want you to push me away and not talk to me anymore. You know, I carry around Sean everywhere. I've been eating his ashes. Like, he'll always be a part of me because I'm eating him, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know what to think about that. I mean, it is a kind of a little too much, maybe. I don't quite understand why Casey would feel as far as eating the ashes would bring her closer to him. I don't understand that part. I don't understand why she would want to keep eating it. So, like, when you're eating the ashes, like, what's going through your mind at that moment?
It comforts me, and then I do it, and then it makes me sad because I'm slowly losing my husband again. And I'm so scared that I'm pretty close to the edge right now. And if I eat him, like all of him,
It may push you over.
it may push me over.
Right. I think she's just going to have a breakdown once the ashes are completely gone, if it gets to that point. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, that's how I feel.
I just want to get through one day without having to eat the ashes. I just don't know how to do it.
But can Casey really stop eating her husband's ashes? Can she find another way to grieve for her loss?
I have to find another way to cope. But for right now, this works, and it makes me feel good. And until I can get help, this is my only option.
Casey's cousin isn't the only one who knows about her addiction. Casey's mother, Linda, thinks she has gone too far. Worried her daughter is losing control, Casey's mom wants her to stop her addiction entirely.
I would like to try to talk to her about eating the ashes. I don't know what it's doing to her physically as well as emotionally. She needs to start healing, and hopefully this will be the first step.
Maybe, you know, at some point we'll have to go back to life.
I have a life.
Did you think Sean would want you to be happier than just getting by?
I don't know.
Sure you do. You think you can at least try to stop that eating the ashes? Please.
I can't answer that.
So you don't feel like you can at least try not to?
I don't want to talk about it.
But you gotta understand, you can't just close yourself up in that room in there and with Sean and just eat ashes and act like everything's gonna be okay, because it's not. That's not gonna fix a thing. Not one thing. And what's gonna happen when you don't have any ashes left?
I don't know.
I'm not gonna sit back and let this keep going on. Okay? I love you too much for that, Casey. Look at me, Casey, please. You have to stop with the ashes or things. Don't make me have to take it away.
Oh, please.
Please. Okay, then get the help. Okay, look at me. Look at me. Then you promise me to start to get some help with it, okay?
As long as you don't take him away from me.
Okay, then look at me. Will you please put all your effort into it? Huh?
Please just don't take him
Okay.
away.
You don't want me to take him away, that's fine. I don't want to do that, baby. But you have to stop eating these ashes. You have to stop that. One way or the other. Okay? I love you, Casey. There ain't nothing I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do for you. Nothing on this earth I wouldn't do for you.
Just I gotta do it.
Casey. Casey. It's gotta give. I'm not trying to be cruel to her, but no means. I love my daughter with all my heart. But whatever it takes to get through to her, to pull her back up from closing herself off and eating these ashes every day, something's got to do that. Casey, please unlock the door.
Oh, please just let me alone.
Unlock the door, please. How much are you eating, Casey? Casey.
Up next, Casey's mom has had enough.
You either open the door or it's fixing to be ugly when you do.
And later, a therapist confronts Casey with the shocking truth.
If you continue to eat those, it could represent your death.
26-year-old Casey is addicted to eating her husband's ashes. She's eaten over a pound since his death.
I'm having a hard time dealing with my husband's death, and this is the way I deal with it, is to eat him every day, several times a day.
Her mom is concerned for her well-being and is trying to get her help. But Casey keeps shutting down.
Please just don't take him
Okay.
away.
I don't want to do that, baby. But you have to stop eating these ashes. You have to stop that.
Just I gotta do it.
Casey. Casey. Casey, please unlock the door. Casey.
Oh, please just let me alone.
Unlock the door, please. Casey. Just open the door. Let me see what's going on. Come on, open the door. Open the door, let me see. Casey. How much are you eating, Casey? Casey. I'm gonna have to take him. I'm gonna end up having to take it. And that's gonna be a big breakdown. She's gonna break completely then. I don't know what else to do. You hear what she's doing in there. Casey, open this door. You either open the door or it's fixing to be ugly when you do open it. Do you understand me? Is it gonna come to look at me?
Would you
Is it gonna come to me?
do not put your hands on me?
Is it gonna come to me taking the box?
No.
Then you just sit there and said you try. And then you just go in and lock the door and do all that. You gonna try or you're not gonna try?
I'm trying.
Don't come at me like that. Because if it takes me taking the box, I will take the box.
No, we're not.
It breaks my heart. I just want her to stop eating the ashes and start healing and be able to have a life again. I'm not going to keep sitting here and watching you eat Sean's ashes like that.
I'm doing the best I can, okay?
Well, I'm doing the best I can too, and I cannot keep sitting here watching you go further and further back. I just can't do it, Casey. You know where you're going to end up, baby? In the hospital where you can't have him with you.
If Casey starts seeing a good therapist, it's going to help her start to heal with it. Sometimes it takes something desperate to really start getting through her.
I'm willing to step right in there with you, because I need help dealing with all this too. Something's got to be done. Are we on the same page or not?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Always have and always will. Just because we get mad at each other doesn't mean that I don't love you. Eating the ashes makes me feel closer to him. Maybe after therapy, I'll feel differently. Right now, I don't think I will, but I have to stop.
Still ahead, Casey's addiction becomes a life or death situation.
If somebody has to force you and the ashes to separate,
I'd probably kill myself. My name is Casey, and I'm addicted to eating my husband's ashes. He's with me everywhere I go, and that's what I love. He's still with me, and that comforts me.
Casey's addiction to eating her husband's ashes is taking over her life. In the past 2 months, she has eaten nearly a pound. She tastes the ashes up to 6 times a day. After an argument with her mom spiraled out of control, Casey has agreed it's time to get help.
My mother's been on me a lot about getting help and getting back to reality, so I'm here today to try to take a step towards getting better.
But will Casey listen to the therapist? Can anyone convince her to stop eating her husband's ashes?
Casey, tell me, how long has this been going on?
Since I picked his cremains up from the crematory.
Okay. Do you experience an inner conflict when it comes to eating the ashes?
It makes me feel good to do it, but a part of me is like, this isn't right, but the feeling and the gratification of eating overpowers the part of me that wants me to stop. This is all I have left of him.
Do you know what thoughts might be triggering the impulse to eat the ashes?
It could be a smell or something I see or a conversation with someone, or sometimes for just no reason at all.
Linda, what have been some of your concerns about the last couple of months?
Casey seems to be, to me, losing reality a little bit. She's closing up from everybody.
Okay. I'm a little bit concerned about what's in embalming fluid, and I'm a little bit concerned about how much of those chemicals are in those ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that embalming fluid causes psychosis?
No.
If you are trying to deal with the reality of this and to help yourself, I'm afraid that you're not going to be able to as long as you're eating the ashes, because you're eating a substance that would make you lose touch with reality. What is the worst fear that you have right now?
Losing Sean again.
So if you eat all those ashes up, you're going to lose him again. Wow. And you're doing that to yourself? And I'm thinking about what's going to happen here if there comes a point where somebody has to force you and the ashes to separate. What kind of emotional reaction do you think you'll have?
I'd probably kill myself.
Okay. So
I don't want to be here without my husband.
She wouldn't negotiate with me to say, I'll try to help myself. When someone's in that kind of grief, all they can focus on is the past. It's just too overwhelming to look forward.
Casey's talk of suicide forces the therapist to stop the session.
would you mind if I met with your mom so we can strategize on how to help you?
All right.
So we need to develop a plan of action. I think that would involve her going to treatment.
I think she might would do that, because I think she's asking for help.
It's not a hard call to make in that it's the right thing to do. Because when someone is a danger to themselves and they're in that kind of mental condition, they can't protect themselves fully.
When the therapist presents her plan, Casey agrees to get help at an inpatient treatment facility. A crisis team is called in immediately.
I need to get you the help you need, but I can't be the help you need, okay? Those ashes represent death. And if you continue to eat those, it could represent your death.
I have to do what I have to do to get her started healing and back on her way. Hopefully she can stop this eating these ashes and put Sean's memory in perspective and be able to go on with her life. Step toward healing and getting better. So hopefully that's where we are today. This step today is going to get us to that point. So hopefully she'll kind of calm down and we can work through it and get her where she can go on with her life.